So, as you might have guessed by me doing that, I had to take this back off. There's a reason for that. I don't know how much I mentioned in my previous video, but essentially my oil pan just continued to leak. Well, I figured out why. And it's my own fault. I was trying to get things together in a hurry a while ago, and anyway, basically what I did was I went to Home Depot, bought a piece of black iron pipe that was yay long, and I got an aluminum AN fitting that would thread into that, like whatever size, I can't remember what size it was, big dash 10 AN, and didn't think anything of it, had it welded, everything looked peachy fine, keen, and I spray painted it. Well, I put it on once, it leaked, put it on again, thinking I messed something up with the silicone job, it leaked. So finally, talked to one of my friends about it, and he's like, that's a black iron pipe. And I'm like, oh yeah, it is. I'm a moron. That's a steel oil pan. So basically what I did is I got on eBay. Luckily they make them for this car, which I didn't expect, but I bought that for like $46 or something. Bought like a little cheapo dash 10 AN bung, and he TIG welded it up for me. So that's taken care of. It does not leak anymore. There's oil sitting in the car right now. Yeah, so I'm going to hopefully put the crossover pipe on today, if I don't get too annoyed with it. Crossover pipe, down pipe. Yeah. So we'll see what I accomplish. That's my goal. I've had it on before, so it shouldn't really be that bad. Yeah, okay. Well, I'm gonna probably turn this into a time lapse because I don't know where half my tools went. Last night I hastily put them together to maybe go help a buddy, and maybe didn't need help, but yeah. Just Volkswagen things. It's a treat when you don't have the right size. Okay. The next part. I started the car a couple times just to make sure nothing crazy was leaking. But when I started it, to me, I put ATF in the cylinders just to kind of lube things up for that initial somewhat oilless run after it sat for who knows how long. Remember, this is still a stock engine, just with new seals, new oil pump, shimmed, all that kind of stuff. Just get all the reliability things to make sure, as long as I have a good base of an engine, everything else is happy. And that's what we ended up with in about 30 seconds. So the inside of this pipe is disgusting now, and I'm afraid of it getting in my turbo and causing an issue. I'm really worried about the big chunks though, which that seems to be about the biggest chunk right there. Let's see if I can get that out. So what I'm looking at is I'm assuming it's carbon. It was broken up because I did spray brake clean into the exhaust, not the exhaust valves, but the actual exhaust of the engine, the port. And yeah, I think between that and the ATF sitting in the cylinders while it was doing compression tests, worked its way out, did its job, cleaned things up. It's just, you know, detergent is well, definitely combustible. But now I've got carbon broken off, which is probably not the best thing for a turbo compressor, I would think. So I want to do a good job of cleaning in there. I'm just trying to get the oil off of these so they're not smoking and making me worry later. That oil pan was leaking good enough that it dripped down on them actually. That's where the oil came from on these. Where they were sitting. I lost probably a quart of wheat the way it was. Of course, squirrel brain means just like, maybe it'll be okay, maybe it'll be okay. Maybe I won't have to take it back off. And I was like, no, I'm just gonna buy one. It's like $60 and they charged me very little to weld it, so worth it. Beyond that, it's all clean now. The goal was to put the turbo back on the car today. Previously it was mocked up and mostly installed. Alright. Clean crossover pipe and clean flanges and gaskets. So underneath the car here you can see a little bit better what I'm doing. So these eBay pipes in general don't line up very well. Mine hit the oil pan. So I bought an additional flange. I'm going to stack a gasket on each side. And then basically I bought longer bolts back there. Nuts, washer, all that. And sandwich this in as a little spacer. And this is just for the other side. So, yeah, let me go ahead and do that next. D. Okay. Alright, so here's the state of this engine right at this moment. Pan's back off now for probably time number 4. I've lost track, it's been that many times. Because this little guy right here leaked again. Just a little bit this time. Just a little bit. Woohoo. Okay. Focus. Focus. It's never gonna focus. Anyway, it was leaking right at the top of that bung. So, I pulled it back off today. Brought it to a race car shop in Kentucky. And the guy actually told me to RTV the inside after he welded it. So, I did that. We'll see. I think it should be good now. Of course, I thought it was going to be fine last time too. But that's there. And yes, it's sitting on that register because I want it to dry quicker. Plus it's cold out. It's probably 45 or 50 degrees. Probably 45 degrees. I think my turbo might be junk. It was free. It was one of the only things I got for free. But I thought the guy gave me a decent turbo, at least to start with. But there's a lot of oil in the downpipe. And here, the crossover though, I don't know. That might actually be unburned gas, basically, carbon on that. So it's coming down off of the headers. The tune was super rich just to get the thing to idle and run enough to get it to temperature with coolant in it. Burp it. But anyway, where I'm at with it, I'm pretty sure that's trash. I think it's been leaking oil through. And I plan to buy a new one anyway, and I don't want to get a tune with the old turbo and then replace it and upgrade it. That had to come back out. I don't know where I was on my last couple videos. But basically, I'm back to where I was a month or so ago now. And lucky me, I get to buy more oil. So I don't really want to put that back in my engine. Although I was pretty careful taking it out, and you see 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 3 jugs of oil purchased for this project part alone. Because of how many mess ups there have been. The first one was my fault. Black iron welded the steel. I get it. That shouldn't really work, and for what it was, it didn't do bad. But and then yeah, you see the oil, kind of anyway. So this, I discovered this once I had my dad in the car where we were bleeding the clutch. You might see the indented spot there. Yeah, I had to bash that a little bit because the clutch fork actually hits it. So, I'm gonna have to test fit that. Basically, this whole project is fighting me every chance it can. Ooh, let's not knock that off again. So, there's my clutch fork. And when it's extended, it's probably there or so. That hits my downpipe. So, I don't really want to cut material off of it, since if it breaks, I've got to yank the trans, which doesn't really seem like a lot of fun to me. So, at least in theory, I would have to yank. It's actually a great question. I don't know if I can change it without pulling the trans. My gut says no, but I should know this by now. I've done enough transmissions on these cars. Since my last video, I don't know if I showed it, but I've got an AM oil pressure gauge. I had to extend the harness, so hopefully it's still accurate. but I had to extend the harness because that's my only oil ports are in the front of the engine, really. At least the ones I can get to nicely. But everything now inside the car is AEM besides my volt gauge, which is the volt gauge. It's one of the cheapest ones you can get, but whatever. Crappy little Bosch from Pet Boys. Haven't finished that yet because I've been trying to get everything else done. And there's my 3 AEM gauges. I really need to get a light for this camera. I'm gonna film at night. But anyway, yeah. That's where I am on this project. So, hopefully... Oh yeah, and for anybody boosting these, feel free to leave me comments about it, but I can't get that to fit with the downpipe in place. There's not a nice way to get it to fit. I'm not worried. I can take it to the race car shop I was talking about, have them either fab something or add a section that bumps up over the exhaust. I don't know, but it hits it. It sits directly where the downpipe is. What else? Is there anything else? I don't think so. I'll probably put... I have a short video of this thing running. Not driving anywhere, because I don't want to take it off the jack stands, really. My good jack is elsewhere. But... anyway, guys. I'll keep you posted. See ya.